Dear students, today we will find one problem on free convection or also called as natural convection. In the chapter 1, when we deal with the convection terminologies or definition, I have told that there are two types of convection. One is the natural convection, other is the forced convection. Convection is the heat transfer due to the interaction of fluids. Everybody knows about it. Natural convection means whatever the nature's parameters are there, only on that basis anything convection happens, then that is called as natural convection. Means there is no fan. Whatever the wind is there, whatever the temperature is there, whatever the surrounding temperature or any other parameter is there, depending on that, anything cools or heated, whatever it may be, any convection happens, that is called as natural convection. Forced convection means we have to, if we want to make the cooling faster, then we are adopting the fan, induced fan or forced fan. That is called as forced convection. Means within a given time, we want to cool any body, then we can go for forced convection. For example, in the thermal power plant, we are going for induced draft fan and forced draft fan. There, we want to cool it in a definite manner and definite speed so that the thermal power plant can run in a definite or particularly meticulous way. Natural convection is best example is a cup of tea kept in the open atmosphere. It will cool at its own time. Okay. So here one problem we have taken a vertical pipe 80 millimeter diameter. My cursor, just follow my cursor. A vertical pipe 80 millimeter diameter and 2 meter height is maintained at constant temperature of 120 degrees centigrade. You might do it in a laboratory also. Again, I will repeat, a vertical pipe of 80 millimeter and 2 meter height is maintained at a constant temperature of 120 degrees centigrade. Means the diameter is 80 millimeter, height is 2 meter. The pipe is surrounded by still atmospheric air at 30 degrees centigrade. This will indicate that it is the natural convection. It is the pipe is surrounded by still, means almost stagnant atmospheric air at 30 degrees centigrade. Find the loss by natural convection. So here, the given things we are listing here. The vertical pipe diameter capital D is 80 millimeter. Compulsorily, we have to convert it into SI system. That is 0.08 meter. Height or length is L is equal to 2 meter. Already it is in the SI system. Temperature is, surface temperature is 120. Means the pipe surface temperature is 120 high temperature. Surrounding still air temperature T infinity, or sometimes it is also called as TA. Both are same. T infinity or TA, that is equal to 30 degrees centigrade. So what is the question they are asking is find the heat loss Q. So now what we have to do is we know that film temperature TF is equal to TW plus T infinity divided by 2. This is very, very important. The high temperature of the particular wall of the pipe and temperature of the surrounding. Average temperature we have to take, and that is called as film temperature. Film temperature means the average temperature of the body of that particular object plus surrounding temperature. 120 degrees is the temperature of the vertical pipe, means that body temperature plus 30 is the surrounding air temperature. So on the average we have to take all the properties. Therefore we have to first find out the film temperature. So film temperature is 120 plus 30 divided by 2, means almost it is 75 degree centigrade. So now you have to open your heat transfer data book and there will be the properties of the water at 75 degrees centigrade. Just will search in the initial pages you can have. So I will scroll down. These are the properties we can get. Approximately the digital points will be different. Density is equal to 1.0145 kg per meter cube. That is available from the data book. Nu, that is kinematic viscosity, is 20.55 10 raised to minus 6 meter square per second. Prandtl number is 0.693 and thermal conductivity is 30.06 into 10 raised to minus 3 watt per meter Kelvin. So all these properties are available in the heat transfer data book. So first and foremost thing is that there are definite steps with which we have to go for the natural convection. We know that this is beta. Beta is called as coefficient of thermal expansion. How the thermal expansion will take place with the present environment of the temperature of the body and temperature of the surrounding. That is 1 divided by temperature of the film in Kelvin. That is most important. Sometimes many people will keep it in degree centigrade. So beta, that is coefficient of thermal expansion, is reciprocal of film temperature. So 1 by Tf, that is in Kelvin, that is specifically mentioned here. So here you can see, so 75 degrees centigrade is there. You have to add 273, that is compulsorily. So we will scroll back. So here, now beta is equal to 1 by 75 plus 273. That is 2.87 into 10 raised to minus 3 per Kelvin. So beta, this is called as coefficient of thermal expansion. Then we have to go for the Grashoff's number. Why? Because we have to migrate, or we have to identify whether the flow is laminar or turbulent. That we have to find out. So therefore, Grashoff's number, this G is 9.81, acceleration due to gravity, beta, coefficient of thermal expansion, height of the pipe, vertical, that pipe, L, delta T means temperature difference. That is here in this case, 120 is the temperature of the vertical pipe, minus 30 means temperature of the surrounding, 120 minus 30. Divided by nu square, it is not v square, it is nu square, is kinematic viscosity, 20.55 to 10 raised to minus 6. Already we have calculated earlier, or taken, not calculated, but taken from the data book. So here we can have the Grashoff's number. The Grashoff's number, after incorporating all the values, beta already we know. And here, therefore, we can see that Grashoff's number is 4.8 into 10 raised to 10. Then we have to multiply Grashoff's number to Prandtl's number. If you multiply, that is 4.8 into 10 raised to 10 and 0.693. Where is the 693? Already from the table we have already taken. I will scroll again. I will show you. Here we have already, we can have, this is the Prandtl's number and this is the nu, that is kinematic. So all the properties are already we have brought from the heat transfer data book. So now we have to go for this Grashoff's and Prandtl's number. But if you visualize the Grashoff's and Prandtl's number multiplication, the value amounts to be 3.32 into 10 raised to 10. So now we have to see that Grashoff's number and Prandtl's number, that multiplication factor is greater than 10 raised to 9. So naturally we have to decide that the flow is turbulent. That is very, very important. This. So whether it's laminar or turbulent, we have to understand, and Grashoff's number and product of Grashoff's number and Prandtl's number amounts to be greater than the 10 raised to 9. Therefore, it is 10 raised to 10 here. Therefore, the flow is turbulent. We have concluded. For the turbulent flow from the HMT heat transfer data book, this is available. 0.1 Grashoff's number and Prandtl's number product raised to 0.333. So 0.1 is as it is, Grashoff's number and Prandtl's number already, the multiplication is 3.32 in 10 raised to 10 raised to 0.333. The Nusselt's number is 318.8. Now after getting the Nusselt's number, we have to migrate towards the convection heat transfer coefficient. But Nusselt's number is equal to HL by K. So this equation is also available. If you open the dimensionless group in the heat transfer data book, you will find this equation. Nusselt's number is equal to H means convection heat transfer coefficient, L means height of the pipe, and K means thermal conductivity of the pipe. So Nusselt's number is already 318.8. H we have to find out. Length is 2 meter. Already we know length of the pipe. And K is thermal conductivity 30.06 is available, and into 10 raised to minus 3 for conversion into that joules. Okay. So with this H, if you calculate 4.75 watt per meter square degree Kelvin. So therefore, again, our this is H we have to find out. Our aim is to find the H. When you receive the H, then almost the solution is 95% completed. What is heat loss? Q is equal to HA delta T. This particular equation, Newton's law of cooling, already we have dealt in the first chapter. So HA delta T, most common equation for convection. So H already we have calculated with the help of 4.79. And area means here, area means it is a vertical pipe. Vertical pipe means pi into D into L. The surface area will become pi into D into L. And the temperature difference, you know, 120. Temperature of the surface of the object, that is 120. And temperature of the surrounding is 30. Only two temperatures are there in the given problem. There is no need to say about it. 4.75, this is the H. Pi diameter is 80 millimeter, that is 0.08 meter, L is 2 meter, 120 degree minus 30 degree, the heat loss is 216.7 watt. So this is the heat loss we have to find out. So these steps will repeat. I will want to say that these steps will repeat and again and again. Only when you have to decide that where it will be laminar and where it will be turbulent. That we have to decide, and everything, all this decision making process is available in the data book. So open the data book of the free convection, you can see the various equations are there, and the solved problem you just compare with the available equations. Many equations are there, but most useful equations, frequently used equations are available. I have taken and just managed to have comply with that particular equation in that particular section of the heat transfer data book. So one thing again and again I am stressing that heat transfer data book should be your Bible, and it will fetch you 30 to 40 marks if you use it efficiently. Thank you.